will take this time to welcome you and thank you for coming. Today, we, the Putu Concern Group, the group that represents the people of Putu Administrative District, the most affected community of the Putu Concession. We are here today to express our concern, to give our reaction to the ongoing Putu mining project discussion. On my right here is Emmanuel Wablo, a member of the Putu Concern Group. Far left is Daros Luis, a member of the Putu Concern Group. Madam Angeline KG Tawala, Secretary of the Putu Concern Group, and sitting in my immediate left is Honorable Philip Bas Kama II, strategist of the Putu Concern Group. Presenting our position today will be the chairman of this group, Honorable Joseph W. Gibro, is en route, having some difficulty with the traffic, but he will be here, momentarily as we continue the discussion. Mr. Kama will be reading our positions, and all of us sitting here will be at liberty to answer any question from the press. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Co-Chair. And we have a total of 11 persons on this committee. We have the diasporan representation as well on this committee, just to say that in passing. Distinguished members of the press, representatives in abstention of government, stakeholders, and policymakers, Grenadians, and fellow Liberians. Good day and good afternoon. On behalf of the Putu Concern Group, we acknowledge the government's effort to revive the Putu Iron Ore project and the selection of the Africa Metallic Resource Incorporated as the preferred developer from the competitive bidding process. This moment brings hope, but it is also a demand of responsibility. We recognize the progress made thus far. However, let us be clear. Our support is constructive, but not unconditional. We will not support any agreement that lacks transparency, accountability, or respect of the community rights. Transparency is essential. Agreement must be public. Community rights must be respected. The free, prior, and informed consent is not optional. It is a must. Employment must benefit Liberians, especially the affected communities of the project implementation. Economic benefit must be real and measurable. Environmental protection must be enforced. Infrastructure must serve the people, not just the project. Let us also clarify. There is no legally completed transfer of ownership at this time. Administrative steps do not equal concession transfer. Timelines being suggested are not aligned with industry or legal realities. These are not political opinions. They are grounded in the provision of the Mineral Development Agreement and international best practices. Distinguished members of the press, a critical issue that must not be overlooked is investor solvency. Mining is not just about acquiring a concession. It is about the ability to finance, develop, and sustain operations, including the construction and access to rail and ports infrastructure. Without clear proof of financing and technical capacity, any concession risks becoming a speculative asset, held, trade, or flipped without delivering real development to the Liberian people. We must avoid that outcome. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen and members of the press, we called on the government to act with transparency, uphold the laws, and ensure that all agreements reflect the interests of the people of the project affected community. That all agreement reflects the interests of the people of the project affected community, people of Grand County, and the people of the Republic of Liberia. Any process that undermines accountability or community rights will not have our support. I repeat, any process that undermines accountability or community rights will not have our support. We remain committed to constructive engagement and stand ready to work with all stakeholders. In closing, members of the press, the Putu project is not just about money. It is about governance. It is about justice. And it is about national responsibility. Its success must be measured not in promises, but in real improvements in the lives of the Liberian people. In conclusion, the Putu concession remains in transition, not finalized. The Putu Concern Group's position is clear. Legal processes must be followed. Community rights must be protected. Transparency must be non-negotiable. Investor solvency and development capacity must be proven beyond doubt. The Putu Concern Group remains firm, constructive, and committed to ensuring that this project delivers lawful, inclusive, and sustainable development for Grand County and the Republic of Liberia. Thanks.
Thank you very much. So on that note, we want to take a few questions. And most five. You call your name and the institution you work with.
So, good afternoon, and respectfully, we are for Focus Africa. To the team, what have you gathered about the Putu project as prompted such a press release? Is this something you you want to point out that, not good? Is something you can point out and not good?
Thank you. From the current state of affairs, we have got to be conscientiously conscious with the history and experience we have had in the past for how the project community, who farmlands will be compromised, who waterways will be tampered with, who livelihoods will be questioned, who towns and villages may be relocated, with the level of marginalization due to the incessant disrespect of our people in the past. This has given us the tenacity and courage to avoid such from reoccurring. Given the latest statement from the statement provided by the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, and understanding from in our little corners the Interministerial Committee of Concession selection, and the statement in line with the Planet One, who came number 3 in the bidding process according to the information of our source, wanting to surface at the top of the granting after the memorandum of agreement has been granted to the Africa Mentality Resources. It is concerning, deeply worrisome, for which trickle this press release at this hour.
All right, so I'm Horizon Joe, and I report for Spoon. So you made mention of Planet One and you made mention of AMR. So are you advocating for AMR or AMR to take the agreement, or are you advocating for the betterment of the country?
Our advocacy is for the betterment of the people of Nigeria. Howbeit, we should be conscious that Liberia risks getting into the state of sanction if the proper billing process is not adhered to, and the processes leading to the successful operation of a company that has that solvency to operate, then it places us, the people of the project affected community, at disadvantage. And because of this reason, we are at this juncture trying to enlighten, caution our elected and legitimate government to do the needful for the people of Nigeria and the Republic of Liberia.
Well, the Vice President was given a task to go about with this entire agreement as mandated by the President. And now that the Vice President has been speaking on to this issue, now giving full update, or maybe report back to the President, do you sense anything that being premature, or do you sense that a company is being favored in this direction?
Well, it's categorically clear that a company is being favored from the deliberation of the Vice President interaction on the ERBC radio station, because he clearly articulated the Planet One issue in his press briefing to the people of Liberia. And like I said previously and initially, that is worrisome and is concerning. And as such, they are our elected government, and we need to at least provide some conscientiousness to their hearing, so that if they were thinking in such direction, that the right things will be done to benefit our country, the purpose for which they were elected by the Liberian people.
Lastly, should a group be called upon to provide some of the view, because you want an audit, you want to state what is best for the people in Nigeria? Would you accept that?
At all times, we will be ready to provide our perspective and what we envisage that the concession agreement cover. Now, before let us understand that the Vice President intimated that the agreement was signed for 25 years, and as such, it doesn't go back to the national legislatures for ratification. That, in my mind, was overstated, and we need to understand the MDA provides means for review. And one of those review period was in 2015, before the company scaled down and left. We were in the review process. The co-chair here today was serving as the co-chair of the county review committee. All of the propositions were made, were relayed to be enshrined within the MBA when all of the process, scaled down and the operational activity ceased. So the issue about the MDA cannot go back to the national legislature. We disagree categorically with such statement. And we are in the trimester, the third review period, because the MDA provides that after every 5 years, there must be review of the MDA to update it to the current state of affairs and economic activity. And that is still pending. So for us to hear that it is not going to go back for ratification is concerning and is worrisome. And as such, we need to start taking the necessary and positive constructive steps to engage our government peacefully and collectively so that we can feel the impact of the investment. So that the investment be not on paper, but that the investment will be real investment and real benefit for the project affected people, the people of Grand Julia County, and the people of the Republic of Liberia.
Equally concerning, we are all aware, and from time to time, the President have said this over and over, that his government will review all concessions. The latest example is the review of the concession of Little Field. We have provided more benefit to the affected counties from 3 million to 5 million. What makes Putu an exception? According to the Vice President's presentation, he said that the remaining 9 years, there will be no review as tend to be corrected. This document, the MDA is not going back to the legislature. We feel that after missing out 2015, the first review period, the 2020 second review period, 2025, the third review period, we believe that there must be a review of this agreement before any other activity is started on Putu. Thank you.
So, a concern, back to my question, right? Because I visited the community around Putu Mountain, and I saw how the community looks. So, this agreement is a transfer agreement. That means it was signed, and then the other company that will take over will take all of the things that the company that was there didn't do, will be able to do that, right? So that means all benefit, everything. That means the company that will be taking over will take hold of it, right? And then we said 3 companies were advocating to take over the Putu Mountain. You make mention of MRO, you make mention of
information. 3 companies, when there after the bidding process, you had 8 companies and they were narrowed down to 3.
And 3 companies.
And of the 3 companies, were qualifying. Of the 3 companies, they narrow it down to 1 company, which is the African Metallic Resources Incorporated.
So why is it that what is in a planet agreement that you people don't want for planet agreement to take over, and you want for AMR to take over?
No, I think you are getting,
because you make mention of AMR that you don't want for planet to take over. Because I understand that planet is a Liberian company, right?
Yep.
The AMR is not a Liberian company. So why is it that you are advocating that planet will actually take over from AMR?
Can we make this clear? We are not here to advocate for any particular company. But as she said, the right thing must be done. And whatever is done must be legal and follow international best practice. There were 3 companies that were shortlisted that went for the final bidding. And there were 5 government ministries that were involved in that process. Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Justice, National Investment Commission, the Ministry of State, and the Ministry of Mines and Energy.
Did the country send someone to represent the country?
No, we were not. We have no knowledge of that. In that process, the 3 companies were scored, and the average score for African metallic resources was 86. 88.6. JSW came second with 62 or 65.2%. Platinum 1 came third in the evaluation with 55.2%. What is concerning is how do we jump from first place to the 3rd place? It's a little bit concerning. And our fear is this might give rise to some legal technicality, given the fact that African metallic resources have obtained an agreement, memorandum of agreement from the government, fully notarized and probated. What will happen? Will they just walk away? Or will there be some legal wrangling? We fear that this may delay the process, then going to another company that we thought or believe will facilitate of the process. Right.
In addition,
And so our fear is, and our contention is, the right thing must be done. And in that process, it must be done legally, it must be done transparently, and with accountability.
So if the justification is we want for Liberians to take over the mining sector?
Well, let me just state this to your hearing. Let me make this clarion call. Administrative fees do not equate ownership. And the point I want us to know here is that any process falling short of due process, sanction and international compliance constraints will delay the process further. Any transaction involving entity with exposure to international sanction must comply with the following: global financial regulation, anti-money laundering, the AML, or the countering the financing of terrorism, the CFT compliance standard. US and EU regulatory frameworks must be followed. What is the position here? Timelines for transfer cannot be politically determined and remain legally and financially contingent. Thank you.
so in addition, the MDA signed by the legislators, the Putu Iron Ore Corporation area, did not even mention the project affected community, Putu. Therefore, we had previously beaten the Vice President and our legislators, the caucus, have our position statement that outlines the needs of the Putu community, the federal community. So if the Vice President have our position statement, we will presented to him last month, and still go ahead and say that nothing else will be done but just to go ahead and pick the third company, the least company. And what about us, the federal community? What about the document the position statement that we submitted to the Vice President into our caucus. Are we going to be just silenced like before? We said we disagree. Thank you.
Thank you. So, with all that, I think we come to the end of the press conference. So, as a thank you, all the media operators are here. We want to appreciate you for your hard work. Everything we do today, we do it for Liberia. So, thank you for coming. We appreciate your presence. Thank you very much.